blood money went by the name of
Gray Hughes.
Gray Hughes.
What up? What up? How is everybody? What's up? Reaching to my soul. TTM. Always good to see you. Jerry, what's up? Great patriot. Indeed. Indeed. Rest in peace to the big bruise. We know he's watching. Tina, what's up? Frank Meister, what's going on? Yeah, make sure you hit that like button. Come on now. We can't be humble all the time. You know? Not when we're ready to work. You know, we're not going to be pushed around anymore, I don't think. I don't think we're going to let that happen. Face girl, what's up? Mary, hello. Hi, Sleuth Crew. And you. Good. Forever Young, Honeybee. Mary Flynn. Sees through. Got you already. PTM, Olivia, Jinx. What's up, Jinx? Purdue, what's up? Always good to see you, Purdue. Always good to get your feedback from a professional such as yourself. Frank, always good to have you in the chat. Dive deeper, no. So that means you probably sent me another email and then I blocked you. So have you sent me an email in the past? Linda Boatner, what's up? Nancy, hello. Has anyone checked into Garett's claim that actually Garth had seen? Yeah, he actually mentioned something a little bit further. We'll talk about that. Thank you. Hey, what's up, Dax? There you go. I love chili. Got some jalapenos or something? Bam. And just like that, we are live. Make sure you guys Go check out Hoosier the Bruiser. I'm sure his wife still has access to that channel, you know. So I'm pretty. He never monetized it, but she should. Either way, go check it out for the Delphi content. Probably the best around. Man, he used to criticize me quite a bit. I'm glad he did. Daisy, what's up? Alexandra, hello. Nana72, what's up? Karen, welcome. What's going on, everybody? What's the haps? Pixelated at sleuth. What, my image is pixelated? Oh yeah, no shades. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can tolerate this light. Like, look how bright that shit is. It's like, so far so good. Hey, what's up, D? Video pixelated. What do you mean? What are you referring to? Are you saying my image is pixelated? Oh, the merch still worked. Oh yeah, make sure you guys go cop one of these hoodies right here. This shit has lasted me like almost 2 years. Quality. Digital, what's up? Mandy, good to see you. Yeah, Sleuth, the stream is a little out of focus maybe. Here, let me try this. Did that help? We got Jill Moser, Railroad Joe, Growing Crazy. What's up, guys? What are you guys up to? Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Yeah, this new computer needs a lot of tweaking. I'll figure it out. All right, I figure we're going to start with Nicole Bowen. I think we should start with that story. Well, seems to be going smoothly now. Here, let me stop this banner at the bottom. It's the Abby and Libby tip information, which is also in the description if anybody needs it. I don't know why that would take so much bandwidth. All right, let me go ahead and put this article up here. This is by Gregory Myers, and the link to all these articles will be in the description. I think I linked everything. Anything you're going to see today should be linked up in the description. Also, the GoFundMe, I think, by Ray Hanish's sister. You know, I'm sure there's all kinds of cost, funeral, you know, all that kind of stuff. And they're not even over $2,000 yet. So I'm not like vouching for that side or whatever, but I mean, definitely if you want to support that cause, go look into that and consider donating to that GoFundMe. What's up, Miss Thang? Yeah, still freezing up here. I don't know. It looks like you're the only one. Might be your internet. I hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, we got to start doing YouTube stuff here. You know, I think we're lacking a little bit. We're going to try to represent a little bit. Okay. New details learned about the murder of Nicole Bowen. This was published April 10th of 2019. Actually, I think I have an image right here. This is Nicole Bowen. She's a very pretty woman. Was. That was before she was murdered by Garett Kirts. This is an image of her. So you could see why they would be jealous of her, of course. Frank, my eyes are always squinted. After the banner was gone, it's better. Thanks, Miss Thang. Yeah, I don't know why that banner would take so much, but if you guys need the Abby and Libby tip line, they are seeking other people who may be involved. So if you have any information for that, please use that. There's a phone number and an email. Hunting. Hey, what's up, Michael? The ties between the ring and all are there for all to see, know, and what to look. You'll see the ties back to even Kagan and Richard. I will be dropping everything, including the email. Thanks. Sorry, Beast. I don't know what to tell you guys, man. This ain't like a Hollywood production studio over here. On the prosecutors on the Nicole Bowen's case, what caused them to look towards the ring, not away? It was intel what caused them to look towards the rings. What rings? Hey, Jerry, Garett Kirts fancies himself some kind of outlaw. Yeah, he does. I wonder if it runs in the family, you know. Excuse me. Because I know his father comes up a little bit. I know I think they may have even served a search warrant on him. I could be wrong. I know they wanted to question him. Yeah, she has pretty eyes. Thank you, Misha. Yeah, they're tripping. They killed her to keep her from speaking on their role on the drug ring. I mean, the drug ring, when you really think about the motivation, you know, when you're high on drugs and, you know, you're high on your own supply and pretty much lost your mind, that puts you in a perfect kind of situation to be motivated to kill. Because you've kind of put yourself in a mental mentally ill state, through chemicals. So now you're like it's a mental health issue. And then paranoia and all that other weird stuff. Not to mention you're with a group of paranoid people. You got that gang mentality. Yeah, reach into my soul. I remember there was a report about the horse. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. That was like 2014, right? 2014, 2015. Yeah, she was a mother. She had kids. All right, let me put this article back up here in case you guys want to follow along. All right, more details about the investigation of the murder of Nicole Bowen were learned Wednesday, April 10th of 2019. Jasmine N. Parker. Here, let's go ahead and do this. Because these are pretty much the people that they're referring to. And we'll take the comments off the screen. So I actually took these images from this article, by the way. Jasmine N. Parker, and I think that's the person in the black hoodie, 34 years old, from Kentland. Ashley N. Garth, 26 years old, of Delphi. You all know her, bottom left. Christopher Channing Mathis. He's the one to the left of Richard Allen, 27, of Kentland. All made their initial appearance in court. Talitha Beckley, she's the one just below Richard Allen there, the fifth person that has been charged in the March 29th murder of Nicole Bowen, made her first appearance in court Monday, April 15th of 2019. Garett K. Kirts, 21, of Lebanon. So I was wondering if there's some kind of connection between Lebanon, maybe his father, and Richard Allen, perhaps, but I couldn't find anything. Made his initial appearance in Newton County Superior Court April 5th, where Newton County Prosecutor Attorney Jeff Drinski filed one count of homicide against Kirts, along with notice to seek life without parole, based on the aggravating circumstance that Kirts allegedly tortured Bowen while she was still alive. He is being held at the Newton County Jail without bond. A not guilty plead was entered for him, and he asked for a public defender. An omnibus hearing has been set for June 12th at 8:30 a.m. Mathis, who was taken into custody by investigators from the Newton County Prosecutor's Office April 8th, has been charged with assisting a criminal in connection to Bowen's death. According to the court proceeding Wednesday morning, Mathis allegedly hindered the apprehension of Kirts and helped with the disposal of Bowen's body. A search warrant was issued by the Newton Superior Court for the search of the apartment of Brittany Garrity, 27, of Zionsville, Indiana. Mathis was found hiding under a bed in the upstairs of the apartment. Parker and Garth, who have also been arrested and charged with assisting a criminal in connection to Bowen's death, also allegedly hindered the apprehension of Kirts and helped conceal the murder of Bowen. Newton County Prosecutor Attorney Jeff Drinski is seeking the habitual offender sentencing enhancement for Mathis and Parker. Garth, Parker, and Mathis have all asked for public defenders, and an omnibus hearing has been set in all three cases for June 28th and at 8:30 a.m. Parker and Garth have been held in the Newton County Jail in lieu of $25,000 bond, while Mathis is being held on $50,000 bond because of being a potential flight risk. Newton County Drug Task Force investigator Vince Lowe testified Wednesday that prior to the arrest of Mathis, he posted on social media that he intended to leave the state and head to Texas. Drinski also told the Newton County Enterprise that additional charges may be coming against Mathis, Parker, and Garth, pending the results of DNA testing, which he said will probably take months. Now, right here, I thought it was interesting. The whole Texas thing. I remember Kagan Klein saying, "Yeah, I was in jail," and then the Anthony shots. Remember, Kagan Klein was doing an interview with police, and they said, "Hey, like we're going to release this information. Is you sure there's anything you want to tell us?" And he's like, "No, I didn't do anything. Go ahead and release that information." Release the information, and it went viral. And then somebody from Texas, we know, was reaching out to Keegan Klein and was saying, "Hey, man, you're all over the news." And I thought it was strange that Kagan would mention that to Barb McDonald during that HLN interview. So there's a connection there to Texas. Probably nothing, but all right. Let's catch up on the chat here. So, yeah, didn't he end up escaping? I know there was something going on with Chris Mathis. I think he actually even got away. Didn't he? Like, wasn't he on the run for a minute? Hey, what's up, Eric? Hey, Sheila. Garett Kirts, one question. How did he get money for drugs between 2016 to 2019? Well, it seems like he was working. You don't have to. You could work a week, even if it's in training. You're going to get a check, Tennessee, what's the Tennessee connection? What's up, Vanessa? Ellis was on the run. I don't know about Mathis. Yeah, Gabriel Ellis was busted, I believe, on the 16th. He may have even been in Delphi. I'm not sure. But he was busted, and I think there was a 16-year-old girl, and he also had lewd acts with this girl on his phone. Hey, what's up, Holly? Connection. Yeah, I know he's locked up now, but I think he was on the run, right? Yeah, I think Alice is still in jail. Garett Kurtz. Oh, Garett Kurtz is from Tennessee? Well, there was something that Garett Kurtz said to Open Secrets. Make sure you guys go subscribe to her channel. We're going to look at a couple of pieces from her content and her communications with Garett Kurtz, but he talks about that a lot. He talks about hitmen. He talks about what people will do for drugs. They'll kill for drugs. It's strange that these killers, it's like they don't realize it, but subconsciously they're just telling half truths. They're assuming that they're 100 times smarter than you, so they think that they can speak freely. But people like us who are kind of cognizant of this whole, we pay attention to true crime. We kind of know those tactics and we pay attention to it. So I think that's a good lesson that we learn. We can kind of see that behavior coming a mile away.
To West Lafayette native Nicole Bowen's homicide has been sentenced. Garett Kirks will spend 55 years behind bars for his crime.
Bowen was murdered in March of 2019. Court documents say Kirts strangled Bowen to death and left her in a storage shed. News 18's Anna Darling was in the Newton County Courthouse today as Kirts received his sentence.
It was an emotional day for Nicole Bowen's family as they finally got the chance to address the main suspect in her murder case. Now, the prosecution and the defense agreed upon a 55-year sentence for Garett Kirts as part of his guilty plea agreement. And while the family understands the legal process of the agreement, deep down, they feel it's not enough. Kirts kept his eyes on the defense table for much of their testimony. Bowen's family brought pictures
This
to
cocky
display in the
motherfucker.
courtroom and had a slideshow of photos playing the entire time. Bowen's aunt spoke first for the family.
Oh, you're gonna
She
fucking.
remembered her niece as
This pissed me off. Look, he jumps out of the van and then he takes 2 steps at a time. I'm like, keep up with me. Look at these old ass fucking guards. Watch what he does. I don't know why, but this really pissed me off. I wanted to Spartan kick him right off that shit.
on the defense table for much of their testimony. Bowen's family brought pictures to display in the courtroom and had a slideshow of prosecution and the defense agreed upon a 55-year sentence for Garett Kirts as part of his guilty plea agreement. And while the family understands the legal process of the agreement, deep down, they feel it's not enough. Kirts kept his eyes on the defense table for much of their testimony. Bowen's family brought pictures to display in the courtroom and had a slideshow of photos playing the entire time. Bowen's aunt spoke first for the family. She remembered her niece as someone who was goofy, smiling, and singing all the time. She said she was a wonderful mother to her 2 young boys. Nicole's mother, Cheryl Samuels, remembered the pain of having to tell Nicole's sons about the death of their mother. She said Kirts is a, quote,
Yeah,
sick,
no leg
troubled,
chains.
and cowardly person. Both women say they
That's a
do
good
not
point.
forgive Kirts and wished that his punishment was more harsh. Kirts did not give a statement to the court, and his defense
Hey,
attorney
Dave.
said in a brief statement that this case is an example of the negative effects substance abuse can have on a community. Find a full account of what happened today in court later tonight on our website, WLFI.com. Reporting in Newton County.
Yeah, I don't know why that angered me. Like, why didn't he have his chains on his legs? The dude's he's a murder. He's under arrest for murder. Why is he running up the stairs? And why is he jumping out of a van? Like, what's to stop him from running down the street? That old man's not going to chase him. I don't know why. I don't know why that was so irritating. He messed with Karina, and her little cousin Karina was 18, and he got caught, which was 16 or 15, but he messed with both girls. Yeah, I know he was questioned about something about a 14-year-old girl, like right around the time of the crimes. You know, it could just be circumstantial, but I don't know. Yeah, angers me, Vanessa. Yeah, that piece of shit. Hey, what's up, Miss Dog Lover? Good to see you. Garett Kirts, see Sam? Not that I know of. You know what? I really wouldn't doubt it, though. He did have a social media presence, but not that I can't say that I have anything to back that up. No, I didn't see that. Yeah, Boston. Why the hell was he running up the stairs? Like he left the people that were in charge of him. He just left them. Very strange. I don't know what that is. She had no issue killing 2 people we know of. Just can't ignore that. Yeah. All right. Let's come over to this article. And there's not a lot on Ray Hanish. And that's why we're going to cover it, because there is some stuff going on. I think I have a picture of Ray here. Yeah, it's been a minute. I hope you're good. Hope everything's well. Oh shit, Dave, really? That's awful. Sorry to hear that, man. Just stay hydrated and take your vitamins and watch your temperature. You'll be good. All right. So it looks like this is from Dave Banger, Lafayette Journal and Courier, published December 20th, 2019. Suspect in Kentland torture murder case tied to strangulation death weeks earlier, 2 counties away. Family of Ray Hanish were told he died of natural causes. The death certificate now says homicide. Prosecutor says Garett Kurtz, suspect in Nicole Bowen's murder, is connected in some way. So I think they knew that for a fact. And you guys, I'm going to give me like 1 minute. I'll be right back. All right, what'd I miss? Right, let me scroll back on up here. Cheyenne. Yeah, I saw that. Presser a couple weeks. Kirts was arrested. Hey, Jamie. Yeah, that cat is adorable. She's like hanging out. Like, hey, what's up? Just me and my homie. Ray deserves justice. I think it's coming. But I feel like there's something we're missing in all this, you know? Everybody is trying to trust their instincts when it comes to Ron Logan. But maybe that's just really Garett Kurtz. His part in all this. Especially if drugs were the motivation. You can see a group of people sitting there. Somebody saying, hey, if you can get me a murder on tape, I'll either give you all the drugs you can handle, or I'll give you like $100,000 in cash. That might motivate a group of people that are addicted. The November morning bailiff escorted Garett Kirts, a Lebanon 21-year-old, shackled and dressed in an orange jumpsuit into Newton Superior Court. Dottie Hoagland Hanish had squeezed into one of the two rows of the gallery already filled with more than a dozen people in light blue T-shirts printed with the hashtag Justice for Nicole. Hoagland Hanish was a mismatch in a white T-shirt with big block rainbow letters. She made the 2-hour-plus drive from Warsaw with her daughter Roxanne Collins, who had come from her home in North Carolina, there in an identical white T-shirt, knowing she'd have to explain the message across her chest, justice for Ray, and what it had to do with the murder case on another side of Indiana in another time zone. When her son Ray Hanish died in March at the age of 49, his body found in his Reynolds duplex days later. There were no accounts in the newspaper in or around the White County town 25 miles north of Lafayette. Nothing on TV either. Nothing much on social media even. The initial word she received was that Hanish, a nurse at a nursing home in Monticello, had died of natural causes. Didn't add up, Hoagland Hanish said. Months later, in September, Ray Hanish's death certificate was released by the White County coroner. Under the manner of death section, the coroner put a check mark next to homicide. The cause of death, asphyxia due to ligature strangulation. The how and the why still are sketchy from official sources. Sergeant Kim Riley, spokesman for the Indiana State Police Post in Lafayette, said results of the ISP investigation into Hanish's death were turned over to the White County prosecutor. Before that, Riley said he wasn't in a position to share details of what police suspect happened to Ray Hanish. What the family knows from the prosecutor is that Kirts, charged in Newton County Jail and waiting a trial in connection with the strangulation death of Nicole Bowen, both strangulations, a West Lafayette mother of two found dead in late March a few miles from Kentland, was somehow tied to Ray Hanish's death as well. So Hoagland Hanish was here in the second floor courtroom of the Newton County Courthouse among Bowen's friends and family, saying she'd keep showing up for court dates in another case to wait on what she wants is spelled out on her custom-made T-shirt. In quotes, "Somebody needs to see that justice is done for my son." Hoagland Hanish said, "I guess it'll have to be me." So she's up to the task. All right, let's take a break there. We'll jump to the chat. Boston says, Danger Dave, what state are you all? Okay, my son, I had it for... Oh, you guys are still talking about that. Question asking if he volunteered it by saying it's in the database. Yeah, I mean, we can't act like we know what's going on with the Delphi case, in regards to DNA and all that kind of stuff. Who knows what we know? Who knows what's admissible? Who knows what they have and what they can use in the courtroom? Things can be tainted. You got kicked out of YouTube. How does that happen? Hey, Indy, Ray Hanish is going to get justice. Yep. Garett Kirts already admitted to killing him. Pretty much. I mean, even Open Secrets was like, what about Ray? And he was like, huh? And it was really awkward. But yeah, he's going to roll over on everybody who was involved in that. For sure. Cold Truth. I wish Dave was still a court reporter. He retired. A news bug dude is blah. Like, dude, didn't even take the time to double check his own write ups. It's Bowen, not Brown. Yeah. Good night, Miss Dog Lover. Hey, Glitter. Most definitely. If you haven't already, I'm pretty sure everybody has already. And Marvin Frank. Cold Truth, Marvin Frank. Hunting Evil. All right, let's continue on, guys. The connection, the timeline. White County Prosecutor Bob Guy confirmed to the JNC that he's waiting for Kirts' trial to wrap up in Newton County before filing any charges connected to Ray Hanish's death and Reynolds. So, did you guys hear that? He declined to give many details other than to say witnesses tied to the Newton County death of Nicole Bowen have cooperated in the White County investigation too. So they snitched on him. So hopefully the rest will start singing along with that tune. We believe we have a pretty good picture of what took place in White County, Guy said. We do not have a murder. I will say that. If there is a criminal act, it would be a much lower level. I'm not even seeing there was a criminal act. We're in case playing a wait-and-see game. Cody Spirit, Kirts' attorney in the Newton County murder case, did not immediately respond to calls for comment. Hoagland Hanish said Guy has been in touch and has told them that whatever happened, Kirts claimed it was an accident. The rest, she and her daughters, Colin, Shar First, Prentice, have tried to piece together the best they can. So this is how they knew that Garett was somehow tied to it. He implicated himself. Hoagland Hanish described her son as a mama's boy, staying in touch 3 or 4 times a week and attentive to her calls and texts from the other side of the state. She said her son was someone who wanted to help others, even when she didn't think it was the greatest idea. That was the case in December 2018 when Ray Hanish told her about taking in a couple who had been living in a van, feeding them, and allowing them a place to sleep and shower. I saw Ray posting pictures of these meals that could feed a family. Way more than he could eat. Hoagland Hanish said, I told Ray, don't get involved, be careful. But I knew his heart. That's just what he did. Hoagland Hanish said her son never told her who the couple was, but she said he told her that the man had expressed interest in a relationship. Hoagland Hanish said Ray was gay, but he had told her that at nearly 50 years old, he wasn't going to get involved with someone who wasn't in his early 20s. The last time Hoagland Hanish heard from her son was on March 12th. They texted back and forth, and she rode home with Collins from a dog show in Louisville. Ray Hanish had asked if they'd had fun at the show and told her that he'd been on a spring cleaning jag at his house. She said her daughter, First Prentice, traded text with her son a few hours later. Early in the overnight hours of March 13th, when both couldn't sleep, Hoagland Hanish said texts she sent on March 13th and again on March 14th went unanswered, which she said she found odd. She said a nephew who lived in Valparaiso but worked in Lafayette had stopped in Reynolds to see Ray Hanish around 4:30 p.m. March 13th. But her son's Pontiac G6 was there, so the nephew drove home. When 3 more days passed with no answer from her son, Hoagland Hanish called on March 16th to nursing home where Ray Hanish worked weekend shifts, hoping to catch him there. She was told he didn't show up for his shift. In quotations, I immediately knew that something was seriously wrong. Hoagland Hanish said, Ray was never somebody who missed work. On March 17th, a deputy who the Kosciuszko County Sheriff's Office came to her home and told her that her son had been found dead in his home in Reynolds. Collins said his car was gone, recovered later in Lafayette. So was his cell phone, wallet, and credit cards. Police later tracked down a TV that had been taken and identified with the receipt the family found in Ray Hanish's home. She said that when the family was allowed in her brother's home, the place was filled with cigarette butts, solo cups, and generally trashed. So to me, that sounds like a party. What do you guys think? Sounds like they were partying there. He was, some type of ruse. Or maybe Garett Kirts was gay. Maybe they used that, or he mentions people doing certain things for drugs. And I wonder if he was kind of talking about this. They took the TV. That's addict behavior. Sounds like they were partying. The solo cups and things like that. Laura Dune, hello. Welcome everybody who's just kind of showing up. Could Garett Kirts be the one who scared the girls on the bridge to the person meet the girls at the end of the... He could have very well be involved somehow. Could have been his idea to use the bridge. Is he the bridge guy? I don't think so. I think Richard Allen. That could have been his job. Keegan Kline, your job is to get them to the bridge. Richard Allen, your job is to get them under the bridge. And then you guys, it's your job to film it and then, commit the act. And then we go to Las Vegas and we make a bunch of money. Yeah, he's a strangler, huh? Kid, check the rhyme. He may have other victims. Might be a damn serial killer. Yeah, this article's very long-winded because of time. We're going to have to continue on. But the link is in the description. It is a great article. Here's the update. This is out of the Herald Journal. Posted just a few days ago, February 24th. Titled White County Grand Jury Reviews Evidence in 2019 Murder Case by Sherry Shellhart, Herald Journal editor at gmail.com. If you guys want to holler for a comment and whatnot. Colt, hello. How are you? Sorry if I can't keep up with the chat. I didn't put it on any restrictions, so. Hey, Ginger. Ingredients in meth. I know it's coke. I'm pretty sure cocaine is like the main ingredient. I think it's basically the way to take cocaine and make it like expand it. I could be wrong though. That might be crack. I would make a list of all unalived people and arsons to homeowners to those arsons that pretty much would wrap it up, plus anyone that was let off early. Yeah, arson is a huge indicator. If you're out there, if you're caught out there setting fires, especially when, people are inside homes or even setting fires near homes, whether it's for insurance fraud or for whatever reason, like, I don't know, there's just something that's a huge sign of, more to come. All right, let's start over here. On Thursday, a grand jury met in the White County Courthouse to hear evidence in the 2019 murder of Charles Ray Hanish, whose body was found in his apartment in March of that year and whose death was ruled a homicide due to strangulation. Hanish was an RN and was working in a nursing home at the time of his death. White County Prosecutor Mark Delgado, who took office on January 1st of this year, said this is the first grand jury to be called in the county in the 12 to 13 years he's been here. He said he obtained a true bill from the grand jury, which allows him to proceed with charges. He explained the true bill is similar to a probable cause in that it acknowledges there is enough evidence to go forward with charges. None of the proceedings in the grand jury can be shared or discussed with the public. So yeah, he's so once they charge him with all of that, they're going to be able to I guess get state, county funds and do a little bit more digging, investigations, and maybe re-interviewing people. So yeah, hopefully they're going to get some funds. They can tack that on him. Shit, he might get the death penalty. Fucking serial killer. I mean, why wouldn't he be involved? He talks about the Delphi murders all the time. As a matter of fact, here. Let's watch some of these. This is from Open Secrets.
That she heard or that she had saw videos of the crime.
She told me that Sheena Cottrell and Nick Edwards had fucking videotapes of the shit, and that she heard them talking about it. And then when I asked her about it, she's like, "Oh, I don't know nothing."
Sheena Cottrell and Nick Edwards. Okay, so there's one video. So he's talking about it, and I don't know if he's lying. He could be trying to mislead. He could be trying to put the blame. But the fact that he's talking about it, it's like a half truth. Everything with these criminals is half truths. It's really strange. It's like their ego gets in the way and they think everybody's really stupid, like they can't pick up on it. It's like their downfall, if you really think about it. So one thing I've noticed with all these killers, they think everybody's really, really like they think they're so much smarter than everybody. It's like a weird delusion. I don't know. I think Indiana is on that anhydrous ammonia. Miss Dottie is the sweetest. Since PB former mayor Mr. No Keys Parks walked over to Ron Logan. See, I don't know what he was doing there. I don't know how close him and Ron Logan are. Here's another one.
Or do you think that night that she told you that she heard someone had said there was videos, do you think that was when you and her first were able to talk about it and it was like so fresh?
It wasn't even Ashley, just herself, that told me that. It was Ashley and a woman named Kens and Rick told me that.
A woman named Kens and Rick. Also, on top of the other two he had mentioned, mentions a videotape of the Delphi murders. And why would he say that? Because either he was the one that has the videotape and he let them see it. You know what I mean? Maybe he's trying to get ahead of it. So when they come out and they start saying, well, you know, Garett Kirts was running around showing us videos of the murder. But most of these criminals, they're not going to talk. You know, they live by that code. Frank says 18 likes and 161 in chat. Yeah, guys, hit that like button. You don't want to be a scrub. Yeah, you don't have to donate to the channel, but that's the least you can do. We're not being shy anymore. You know, we're going on year 2 of this YouTube thing. You know, we ain't messing around no more. And we ain't being shamed either. All right. I think I have one more from Open Secrets. This is the connection between Garett Kirts and Ron Logan. And go check out her channel if you haven't already. Garett actually goes into an in-depth conversation with her about his connection with Ron Logan to that property. So make sure you guys go check that out. Yeah, let's take a look at this final
How
one.
do you know Ron Logan? Because your dads were friends?
Yeah, I've known Ron Logan my whole life. They've tried pinning it on me.
Well, that's what you said. Do you think they're asking you because you and your family know Logan?
Well, they asked me, like, they said that my phone pinned on the cell phone tower in Delphi that day and all, but that's bullshit. That wasn't in Delphi that day. It's
Me from the future.
So right from the horse's mouth, talks about riding his quad across the bridge, making trails all back there. So there's your connection to Delphi and Ray Hanish and Nicole Bowen. It's Garett Kirts and his connection with Ron Logan in that property. I mean, it could have very well been his idea, that location. You know, they said the killer knows this location. Whoever it was knows this location. Well, Garett Kirts knows this location. And I know you guys don't want to talk about conspiracy, but when you're these meth heads, I'm telling you, they could have easily came up with some kind of elaborate plot. You know what I mean? Especially if they were promised a whole lot of money and a whole lot of drugs. And we know Garett, because of Open Secrets interviews with him, that he was high out of his mind. Not only that, he worked at the hog plant, and he said he was trying his best to get back to his training, because you know it's a one strike policy. If you miss training, you're out. You know, it's that 90-day rule or whatever. So he mentioned that he was trying his best to get out there. So I could see him maybe getting dropped off, or maybe even picked up by Ron Logan, like, hey, man, come pick me up and just bring, you know, or drop me off at Ron Logan's house. I'll walk from there, you know, I'll take the bridge, you know, or maybe he was just over there. I don't know, but he's connected. And him being almost now twice convicted of a double murder seems like a serial killer. Why him being so closely connected to that area where two girls were found? It'd be strange that he wasn't connected in some way. All right, let's jump into some Delphi here. This is from the murder sheet. Just a real quick clip. And this is kind of where we have Richard Allen tied. We all know he lived in Mexico, Indiana, which is just north of Peru. But here we have a coworker where she says that he's directly tied to Peru. Let's take a listen.
And I don't go to Delphi for anything. I drive through there every day to go to school.
Link in the description.
But I didn't realize that somebody from Delphi would actually have been somebody I associated with in Peru. And then.
So did you hear that? She's like, I had no clue that anybody in Delphi, you know, would have anything to do with my time in Peru. So there you have it. And who also lives in Peru? Kagan Klein. Thank you, bees. Bunch of scrubs. Ivy Rose is always F. Robert Guy. Purdue RN, I think at one time AG. I worked there. Okay, so we have Richard Allen connected to Peru. We all know who's from Peru. We have Garett Kirts tied to Ron Logan. So, I mean, it's very well that this is a motive, you know, and if you really and maybe we'll end the stream with analyzing Liberty's video of that guy on the bridge. Because, I mean, I don't know what he has in his mouth. It could very well be a cigarette, but I mean, I just don't know. You think that drugs would have a big part in something like this? You would just hope that somebody on their own accord would just come out and do something like that. Bob Guy is a bigot. He told Miss Dottie that someone like this was bound to happen with the lifestyle your son lived. Horrible. Yeah, that is horrible. All right. Oh. Oh, here's an interesting clip. This is just for anybody who is suspicious of, I think is Dan McCain. So I just took a quick clip of him
McCain
walking.
has encouraged anyone who is interested to come to the park on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday from 8 until. And McCain has encouraged anyone who is interested to come to the park on Monday, Wednesday. And McCain has encouraged anyone who is interested to come to the park on. And McCain has encouraged anyone who is interested to come to the park on Monday, Wednesday. And McCain has encouraged anyone who is interested to come to the park on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday from 8
I was going to do a little
noon.
comparison, but yeah, so he doesn't walk like the bridge guy, I don't think. But maybe. Yeah, Colt, Mexican Mafia is definitely deep into the Midwest and the meth, especially these small towns. I mean, they're everywhere, to be honest. Cold Truth says he killed him and then he threw a party at his house. Ray would not have allowed people to smoke in his house or make a mess. He had just cleaned just before and was proud of it and sent pics to his mom. I don't know. Maybe he did want to party. I mean, anytime if I was going to throw or have guests over, even if I was going to party, there's nothing wrong with that. The dude's single. I mean, what's wrong with partying? But I always clean before a party. Garett Kirts was high that day. He didn't even remember what he did. Yeah, he flat out said that. He said, I don't know what I was doing. I was high. Was high out of my mind, and my grandmother wouldn't take me to work because I was so high. So I could see him trying to get to work, you know. Yes. All right. So I think we're gonna end with Fig's video here, the Ron Logan transfer station. We'll loop that. I kind of zoomed in and enhanced it a little bit. Not much, but yeah, I think so, Olivia. Hey, Charlotte. Thanks for the comment. Purdue says, Sleuth, I agree with you on Richard Allen. He gives out vibes of a hitman for hire. Yeah, for sure. And also, Garett Kirts talks a lot about there being a hit out on him, and the same person that said that there was a hit out on him is a person who was with this Rick character who had the killings on video. You know, I mean, if Garett Kirts is being charged with the murder of Ray Hanish, he may roll over and give information on the Delphi case. We may finally be seeing the end of all of this, honestly. Because even if he's not directly connected, he's in that underworld, and he's sitting at the table with other killers. Yeah, Kate, you're right. I almost, as soon as I said it, I was like, wait a minute. That's not meth. Meth is, I think, a little more dirty. They're both dirty, but Delphi murders, drugs, and money. Yeah, I mean, you try to figure out what the motivation would be, and meth is going to put somebody out of their mind first. So if you got a whole group, like a mob or a gang, they're all high on meth and they're all motivated by addiction, and somebody's dangling a bunch of money in front of them, and half of them, who knows, they're raised by killers for all we know. Pseudoephedrine. Yeah, justice for Ray. I think it's coming. We read that article, and in 2019, they just said, "Hey, we got to wait till this whole case with Nicole Bowen kind of all that settles, and they get it all finalized, and then we're gonna come take care of this." So it's coming. They're just being patient. Hopefully, they're being efficient. Salton Sea. No, Vanessa, I haven't seen it. Yeah, you're right. Wait, no, meth isn't cocaine. Yeah, you're right. I kind of realized that after I kind of said it. Free base cocaine. There you go. Methamphetamine can involve a number of precursors and methods, typically Sudafed, anhydrous, ammonia, or a number of others. Okay. You guys know too much about crack. Ginger sends a link, willing to come talk. Garett Kirts is, hey Kate, Garett Kirts is a psychopath. All right, I'm gonna zoom down here to see what you guys are talking about. If you want to check out this video on Fig's channel, the link is in the description. If you want to see the full interview on Murder Sheet with Richard Allen's co-worker, link is in the description. Link to Open Secrets will also be found in the description. Yeah, Talitha Beckley. That seems like a name. The other one as well. Doesn't seem like we've really heard that one too much. I was wondering how she was connected to all of this. I'm glad you brought that up, Mel. What's up, Queen? Good to see you. Hey, what's up, Don? Well, I'm glad you made it. We're about to finish up here. I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on this. I mean, why would he go to the dump and change and go out to the bridge and kill two girls? I mean, come on, guys. This dude's not involved. Unless you're trying to say he's like prepping a crime scene. Well, why would he go to the dump? I just don't see it. This doesn't help the Ron Logan accusers. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, Garett Kirts is a very sick man. And he likes to blame Ashley, that Ashley person. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, show me some love, guys. You don't have to. But if you want to, you can. You won't hurt my feelings. Yeah, it was like an hour and a half. Like an hour and a half supposedly before Richard Allen got there. So this doesn't look like a guy who's prepping for a murder. Yeah, his rubber boots, those dark blue jeans. Yeah, the pedal ring. Largest pedal ring in Indiana history, according to the Kagan Klein transcript. Hey, Dave. Also, Ron Logan doesn't sound anything like Bridge Guy. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say anything, but it definitely doesn't sound, it doesn't sound like the same voice, but similar. That's not on his record, Honeybee. I actually looked at Derek German's mic case today, just because I was looking at arrest records on the Indiana Comment, I think it is. They post like all the police calls that go out, and they archive them, and there was Derek German. And I was like, oh shit. So I just pulled up his information just out of curiosity, because I was kind of hunting down the whole drug connection. Starting to think that might be the motivation, Thanks, Cole. I appreciate you. Thanks for saying that. Mary Flynn, significance of this video to me shows Ron Logan body shape, how he moves, how he was dressed the day of the murders. Exactly. And this is like not way before the murders. It's not like he went home, showered, took a nap. We're talking like an hour and a half before Richard Allen supposedly pulled up and started walking to the bridge, where and shortly after confronts Libby and Abby. So did he go change? I don't know. This just does not. Now, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's prepping for something. I don't know if he's involved in some other way. I really don't know. There's nothing to suggest that. We could find that out later. Digital Candace. Okay. That's interesting, Digital, because I hear cans, but everybody says Kens. Like Kensington or Mackenzie. I agree, Ginger. That's a good point, Glitter. There's nothing stopping anybody, Yeah, I'm trying to see if he has anything hanging from his belt line. It'd be really crazy if he had like that brown, like a brown fanny pack or something just kind of dangling. Like that'd be a dead giveaway. But he doesn't have anything like that going on. He may not be that tall. He's like 6 foot, 6'1", but he's like a wide person. Like he's got really broad shoulders and like he's wide waisted. He's heavy in the ass, as they say in the boxing world. He's not light in the ass. On his own land, if he did know something, he was rightfully bitter after the police treated him over his DUI. No, I think the reason people, their instincts are telling them Ron Logan, because it could very well be Garett Kirts. Garett Kirts has a real strong connection to Ron Logan. So if your instincts are like telling you that, it really might just be Garett Kirts, or maybe even his father. They were interested in him. Hey, Big Fish. I mean, I could imagine changing after a dump run. Yeah, I can imagine changing too. But why are you at the bridge? Why'd you go change and then go to the bridge? Like, that doesn't make any sense. What does make sense is him coming home, changing, and then going and getting some beer. Or never, not really even coming home, just going and getting beer. Has a slight speech impediment. Yeah, I kind of did pick up on that. I was wondering if maybe he had dentures. Yeah, that old school Southern down the hill. He said it like he's more like he was from Texas. Pig roast. It's hush hush, more like rumor rumor. What pig roast? Seriously, guys. All right. That's all I had for you guys. So thanks for hanging out. We're going to start closing her down. Shout out to Fig Sauce for letting me use that video. Big up to him. Go check out his channel. Link is in the description of this video. I appreciate you guys. We're going to start closing it down. Let's catch up on the chat. Hey, Bossy. Judy, hello. Who do we miss? Miracle Heart, hello. Welcome. Yeah, that's a good point, Glitter. Like, that's a long walk for Ron Logan to get to the north or any end of that bridge. So he'd have to come home. Okay, he left there at about 12, probably got home at about 12:30. By the time he got dressed, it would have been 1 o'clock. By the time he got to that bridge, it would have been 1:30. And the witnesses who saw Richard Allen would have saw him too. Heck yeah, Olivia, for sure. Couple brewskis. Yeah, I'll take a look when I have a chance. Thank you. Yeah, Colt. Colt says, yeah, what are the chances Kirts isn't involved? Imagine if you knew nothing about the case other than Ron and Kirts. People would be like, oh, for sure he's involved. Yeah, if anything, Colt, he knows. He has knowledge, If people know that he's a killer, they're going to share their war stories with him. Because what is he going to do? Snitch on them? They'll just snitch on him. It's assured or mutual annihilation, I guess. He is throwing out the trash from the pig roast. Hey, at least you're making sense. Maybe. Thanks, Cindy. Yep, shout out to Deb's True Crime Notebook. What's up, Deb? Always good to see you. That was pretty good. Once I did it, I was like, whoa, that was spot on. Thanks for the live and wild speculations. Oh, what's kind of wild? I can't remember if it was you who pointed this out or not, but his jeans are tucked into his boots. And in an interview. Yeah, it seems like that's his stilo. Thanks, guys. Anybody catching the replay, please leave a comment, and we'll get back to you. That's going to be it. Later, guys.